You know, our homes have become our everything lately. Our offices, our gyms, and definitely our sanctuaries. And we're all looking for that one thing to make our space feel special. But what if that thing was actually alive? Today, we're going to dive into a trend that's bringing a beautiful slice of the underwater world right into living rooms all across Illinois. So, what do you think it is? Maybe some fancy minimalist furniture? Or, a jungle of houseplants? Well, while those are great, recent reports are pointing to a totally different kind of living decor that's really starting to grab people's attention. Yep, you heard that right. We are talking about the home aquarium. What a lot of us might remember as kind of a niche hobby is now making a huge comeback. It's becoming a major trend for homeowners all over the state who want to add something, well, dynamic and beautiful to their space. And folks who keep an eye on the pet and home decor industries, they've noticed a really distinct shift. Aquariums aren't just being tucked away in a corner anymore. Oh no, they're becoming the central feature, blurring that line between just owning a pet and creating some seriously high-end interior design. And listen, this isn't just a vibe or a feeling people have. The numbers totally back it up. Local shops are reporting this huge, sustained jump in sales for complete aquarium setups. We're talking tanks, filters, lights, the whole shebang. It's a super clear sign that this is way more than just a passing fad. So, okay, you've got to ask, why aquariums? And why right now? Well, it turns out it's not just one thing. It's actually a perfect storm of a few key factors that are really driving this whole trend. First off, with so many of us working from home, our schedules are just more flexible. That makes it easier to do the routine stuff a healthy tank needs. Second, you just can't deny the look. A well-kept aquarium is basically living art. And third, there's this growing network of local clubs and workshops in Illinois that are making the whole hobby way less intimidating for beginners. I love this quote from a local designer because it just hits the nail on the head. This isn't just about having fish. It's about crafting a home environment that feels good. A space that's not only awesome to look at, but is also just deeply calming. All right, so we get the why, but what about the what? What are people actually bringing home? Let's take a closer look at the kinds of setups that are flying off the shelves, from the beginner-friendly tanks all the way up to the really elaborate ones. You can see the market is really open to everyone. For people just starting out, you're seeing a ton of these smaller 10 to 20-gallon tanks. They come with really hardy freshwater fish that are pretty easy to care for. But on the other side, you've got the seasoned hobbyists who are going big, investing in these massive installations that can literally anchor an entire room. And the technology is getting so cool. We're seeing a real demand for specialty gear, like these whisper-quiet filters, which are perfect if you have one in a home office, and these really advanced LED lights that can copy natural daylight cycles. Plus, more and more people are getting into creating these fully planted tanks, turning them into these incredible underwater gardens. But here's what's really great about this whole movement. With all this growing interest, there's also this growing sense of responsibility. The fish-keeping communities in Illinois are really pushing the idea that a healthy aquarium is way more important than just a pretty one. Okay, so one of the very first things any new hobbyist needs to learn is this process called tank cycling. Now, it sounds a little technical, but just think of it like this. You're building a tiny, self-cleaning city. You have to let the good guy bacteria move in and set up shop in your filter. They're like the cleanup crew. They process all the fish waste and keep the water safe. It is the absolute foundation for a tank that's going to thrive. And it doesn't just stop there. All the experts and local clubs really focus on these 4 keys to success. First, like we just said, cycling that tank before you even think about adding fish. Second, testing your water regularly. That helps you spot problems before they become big ones. Third is safely acclimating new fish so you don't shock their little systems. And fourth, just sticking to a consistent schedule for cleaning and water changes. Every single one of these steps is just crucial. And that brings up a really important point. A bit of friendly advice, really. An aquarium is an ongoing investment. The experts are quick to remind everyone that you've got a budget not just for that initial setup, but for all the recurring costs too, like food, water treatments, and maybe even equipment upgrades down the road. So looking ahead, it really seems like this trend has some serious staying power. It's becoming more than just a hobby. It's really getting woven into how people think about home design and their own well-being. So where does it all go from here? Well, what's really exciting is that this whole movement is starting to ripple out into the community.
People are talking about partnerships to set up educational tanks in local schools and libraries, which would make the beauty and the science of this hobby so much more accessible to everyone, especially families and kids.
It really leaves you with a fascinating thought, doesn't it? As we all keep searching for new ways to bring some beauty and peace into our homes, maybe, just maybe, the most captivating centerpiece is one that actually breathes and moves and grows right along with us.